Hi, welcome to Sabbath School Daily, where we have been studying from this lesson right here, God's Mission, My Mission. This week we've been studying from lesson number 8, which has the title, Mission to the Needy, and today is Thursday's lesson, which has the title, Greater Love. On January 13, 1982, Air Florida Flight 90 crashed into a bridge and fell into the icy waters of the Potomac River. On that day, 74 people died. And amidst the tragedy of that day, one story of heroism emerged. It's the story of Arland D. Williams Jr., who was seen, along with 6 other people, hanging on to the tail section of the airplane sinking into the river. When the helicopter came to rescue them and lowered the ladder, Arland was the first one to grab hold of it, but he passed it on to the next person. And every time that the helicopter went and came back to get another person, he would always pass the ladder on to the next person. However, when it was finally his turn to climb the ladder, he had already succumbed and sunk into the river and gave his life saving those other people. Friends, history is full of stories of people who laid down their lives for one another, for other people, sometimes strangers, sometimes family, sometimes friends. I love today's verse that comes from John chapter 15, verse 13 that says, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends." In the Bible, we find that there is something more valuable than life itself, which is our love, our faith for Jesus Christ. And that friendship, that relationship, it extends to other people around us in how we treat them, in how we care for them, and ultimately, if we are willing to do as Christ did, laying down our lives for those around us. Now, this laying down of life, it doesn't only happen with life and death. You see, sometimes it's easier to die for someone than it is to live for them. Look at what the lesson gives us today on the first paragraph. It says, "As we all know, and know too well, the needs never end. If you are willing to help others, you'll have plenty of opportunities. Whether close friends or refugees far away, people are in need, and we should do what we can, when we can, to help." All through his earthly ministry, Jesus helped those who could not help themselves. In some cases, he took the initiative and went to those in need. In other cases, as with the men who lowered the paralytic from the roof in order to bring him to Jesus, friends took initiative. Our calling in life is to take initiative when it comes to helping others. Not always will they come and ask for help. Sometimes we need to ask the Lord to give us that divine intuition, that eyesight that can only be given by him to perceive needs, to perceive what is going on in someone's life. Because as we've mentioned before in this week's lesson, the needs aren't always obvious. Sometimes we have to dig a little bit deeper to perceive what the need is. The last paragraph of today's lesson also concludes what we've been talking about spectacularly, where it says, let's make an attempt to begin making a friend this week by being a blessing to someone. First, survey your context, community, village, or city. Do you know of any refugee or immigrant living there? How about the people that live on your street? Do you know all of them? Regardless of your situation, making friends with a stranger is not an easy task. Let's pray and ask God for help. He knows everyone and knows the stranger that you can become friends with. Remember, the goal is to be their friend so that you can help by leading them to God for help. The message here is to move out of our comfort zone. It's comfortable. It's easy to stay where we're at. It's easy to minister or even help those who we like, who are close to us. But getting to know new people, perhaps people that we wouldn't get to know otherwise, now that's the real adventure right there. And that's something that God can help us with if we only ask. Today is Thursday, which means that we have a challenge and a challenge up. The challenge this week is learn about foreigners or non-Christians who live in your country. JoshuaProjects.net is a good place to survey unreached people groups in your culture. So basically what this is saying is educate yourself. Learn more about this reality. They're all around us. Maybe you see them, maybe you don't, but that doesn't excuse anything. Educate yourself. Learn more. What are the different community groups around you of easy access that you could be helpful to, that you could be an asset for? The challenge up is identify someone within your sphere of influence. Begin regularly praying for the person after answering the following questions. Is this person my friend, according to Jesus' model of friendship? Do I know the needs of his or her life? And finally, how can I lead him or her to Jesus for healing? Answer those questions in your own life, in your own thought process, and then apply that when you go and you become friends with people. May God bless you. study today's lesson. If you haven't looked up the previous day's lessons, I encourage you to do so. This week was a very important lesson because needs manifest themselves in so many different ways. And so don't forget to study a lesson. Also, for those of you who are here in the United States of America, I'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. It's a perfect day for you to celebrate gratitude for your family, for your life, for your friends, for those around you, for all of the manifold blessings that God has bestowed upon you, and also extend that to other people around you. For those who have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, maybe you live somewhere else in another country, today is Thanksgiving here in the United States, where we come together with family and friends and remember all the things that we're grateful for. We eat good food and we celebrate gratitude. So even though it might not be Thanksgiving where you're at, it's never a bad thing to remember what you're grateful for. The attitude of gratitude is a wonderful thing in the Christian life. Please comment down below with any questions or any comments. I'd love to interact with you. And also remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to our videos. We release one every day. And I hope to see you again here tomorrow for another Sabbath School Daily.